You've got a bit of spare cash, a tax refund, a pay rise, a little breathing room at the end of the month, and you're staring at the same question almost every Australian with a mortgage faces. Do I throw it at the home loan or do I invest it? Ask 10 people and you'll get 10 confident answers. Pay off the mortgage. Debt is the enemy. No, invest. The share market beats your mortgage easily. And here's the thing. Most of them are working off a comparison that is simply wrong. They'll tell you your mortgage is 6% and shares return 8, so investing wins. Easy. Except that maths quietly ignores the single most important number in this entire decision. Once you understand that number, the whole thing gets a lot clearer. So today, no slogans and no hype. Just the honest Aussie numbers. The one figure that actually settles this. The two uniquely Australian levers most people underuse. And a simple, practical way to land on the right answer for your situation. So grab a cuppa, let's settle the great Australian money debate. First, let's reframe what paying off your mortgage actually is, because this is where it clicks. When you make an extra repayment or park money in your offset, you're not earning interest, you're avoiding it. And that turns out to be incredibly powerful. If your home loan rate is 6%, every extra dollar you put against it saves you 6% every year. But here's the magic part. That 6% is guaranteed. It's risk-free. And it's completely tax-free. There's no market that can take it away. No bad year, no tax office taking a slice. It is, hands down, one of the best guaranteed risk-free returns available to any Australian. So paying down your mortgage isn't just clearing debt. It's earning a locked-in 6%, tax-free. Remember that. Now let's look at the other side of the ledger, investing. Over the long run, the Australian share market has returned somewhere around 8 to 9% a year, including dividends. That's genuinely higher than your mortgage rate. So case closed, right? Invest? Not so fast. Because those share returns come with two big catches the slogans always skip. The first catch is risk. That 8 to 9% is a long-term average, not a promise. Some years the market soars. Some years it drops 20% and sits there for a while. Your mortgage saving, by contrast, is the same guaranteed 6% every single year, calm or chaos. And the second catch is the one that changes everything. Tax. Here's what almost nobody accounts for properly. Your mortgage saving is tax-free, your investment gains are not. When your shares pay a dividend or you sell for a profit, the tax office wants its cut. So you can't just compare 6% to 8%. You're comparing a tax-free 6 to a taxable 8. And that brings us to the star of the show. Your hurdle rate. Your hurdle rate is the return your investments actually need to hit before tax, just to match paying down your mortgage. And because investing is taxed, that hurdle is a lot higher than your mortgage rate. Let me show you, and this is the number to take away from this whole video. To beat a 6% mortgage, someone in a low tax bracket might only need their investments to return around 7 to 8% before tax. For that person, investing looks pretty attractive. But step up to the 37% tax bracket, and to beat that same 6% mortgage, your investments now need to return around 9.5% before tax every year. And on the top tax bracket, at 47%, the hurdle jumps to nearly 12%. Read that again. A high earner needs almost 12% a year before tax just to break even with paying off a 6% loan. Let me make that painfully real with actual dollars. Say you've got $10,000 spare and a 6% mortgage. Put it on the loan and you save $600 of interest, guaranteed, and the tax office never touches it. To match that same $600 after tax, a top bracket earner would need their $10,000 to earn well over $1,000 in the market. Before tax. Because nearly half of that gain disappears in tax before it ever reaches them. Same $10,000, wildly different bar to clear. Suddenly, that shares beat your mortgage easily line looks a lot shakier. The higher your income, the harder your mortgage is to beat. That's the maths the slogans hide. So does that mean everyone should just pay off the mortgage? No. And this is where it gets practical. Because Australia has two secret weapons that bend this decision, and most people underuse both. The first is the offset account. And honestly, it's a thing of beauty. An offset is a bank account linked to your home loan. Whatever sits in it is subtracted from your loan balance before interest is calculated. So if you owe 500,000 and you've got 50,000 in your offset, you only pay interest on 450. That saves you interest at your full mortgage rate. Guaranteed, risk-free, and tax-free. Same as an extra repayment. But here's the beautiful bit. Unlike an extra repayment, that money is still yours to grab anytime. It's your emergency fund and your mortgage weapon at the same time. Compare that to an extra repayment, where the money has gone into the loan, and getting it back means refinancing or redrawing. The offset gives you the exact same interest saving, but keeps your hand on the cash. That flexibility is worth a lot. For a huge number of Australians, filling the offset is the smartest first move there is. The second lever is superannuation, specifically salary sacrificing extra into super. Money you salary sacrifice is taxed at just 15% going in instead of your normal tax rate. For a higher earner used to paying 37 or 47%, that is an enormous guaranteed tax saving. That tax break alone can make extra super contributions beat both paying the mortgage and investing outside it. The catch, of course, is that super is locked away until you retire. So it's a long game lever, not an emergency one. And one more quick point in favor of shares. Franking credits. Those credits attached to Australian dividends can lift your after-tax return, which pulls that hurdle rate back down a little. So the investing side isn't out of the race, it just has to clear a higher bar than people think. So how do you actually decide? Let's make it practical, because the honest answer isn't purely mathematical. A few things should tip you toward paying down the mortgage or filling the offset. If your income feels a bit shaky, if your emergency fund is thin, if the repayments are already stretching the household budget, if a market drop would genuinely keep you up at night, or if you simply crave the unbeatable feeling of security that comes with owning your home outright. In all of those cases, the guaranteed, tax-free return of the mortgage is the steadier, smarter move. On the other hand, a few things tip you toward investing. If your cash flow is stable and comfortable, if you already have a solid emergency buffer, if you're genuinely thinking in decades, not months, so time can smooth out the market's bumps, and if you're in a lower tax bracket where that hurdle rate is easier to clear. For that person, history strongly favors investing for the long term. But here's the truth for most Australians. You don't have to pick a side at all. The right answer, for the majority of people, is a sensible blend. And here's a practical way to think about it. Step 1. Before anything else, build your emergency buffer inside your offset account. Get a few months of expenses sitting there. This is non-negotiable, and it's already working for you at your mortgage rate. Step 2. Once that buffer is solid, then you look at splitting your surplus. Some of your spare cash keeps knocking down the mortgage, giving you that guaranteed return and growing security. And some goes into investing, reaching for that higher long-term growth. There's no perfect ratio. A cautious person might lean 70% mortgage, 30% investing. A confident long-term investor with a low rate might flip that around. The point is, you get the security of the guaranteed return and a slice of the market's long-term growth at the same time. You stop agonizing over an impossible either-or, and you start doing both deliberately. So let's bring it all together simply. Paying off your mortgage is a guaranteed, risk-free, tax-free return equal to your interest rate. Never underestimate that. To beat it by investing, your returns have to clear your hurdle rate, which climbs higher the more tax you pay. Fill your offset first for security that doubles as a weapon. Consider super for its powerful tax break. And for most people, the smartest answer isn't mortgage or investing. It's a deliberate mix of both. The magic isn't in finding the one perfect choice. It's in understanding your own numbers and picking the blend that lets you sleep at night while still building wealth. Run your hurdle rate, fill your offset, then split the rest in a way that fits your life. If this finally made the great mortgage debate make sense, do me a favor and subscribe. We break down the real Australian money numbers, one honest video at a time. No hype, no slogans. Your plan doesn't start one day. It starts today. Quick but important reminder before you go. This is general information only, not personal financial advice. Everyone's rate, tax bracket, and situation is different, and strategies like extra super or debt recycling can get complex. Interest rates, returns, and tax rules all change, and investing carries real risk. So run your own numbers and consider a licensed financial advisor for a plan built around you.